Someone asked the question, what happens if you created an irrevocable trust and you decide you want to divorce your husband or wife? Well, first, I hope you don't get into that situation because that's tough. But looking at the odds of divorce in the United States, it's 50%. So 50% of people are getting divorced today. So that means that people aren't very good at actually staying together inside their marriages. Irrevocable in an irrevocable trust means that it's not changeable. So after you are married, let's say that you had accumulated assets together and placed them into the trust, neither of you own the assets. You may be the beneficiaries of the trust, but your trust owns the assets. That it actually makes it harder for you to actually break up. But when you have something like a trust where you put assets together and you're working together, it actually makes it harder to quit the relationship in some ways. And if one of the goals that you have ultimately is to create a legacy of some kind, to be able to create enough money to pass on to your children and potentially your children's children, to be able to take care of yourself in this life in a really great way, then having sort of those types of agreements in place that makes it harder to break up can actually be a benefit. It might not seem like it in the moment while you're suffering, but in the long term, sometimes that can really be a benefit of being able to stay together. So is there an easy way to get your assets out of the trust should you get divorced? Absolutely not. On the other side of the token, it really does make people consider and think twice before they go through that process of trying to separate with each other. Should they decide that they're still going to separate and divorce, they're still going to be beneficiaries of the trust and the assets are still going to be working on behalf of those people. I would imagine over time as well, they'll likely learn how to get along a little bit better, or they'll pick a trustee that they both can count on in order to handle the affairs of the trust so they don't have to deal with each other. So I hope you like that answer, and I hope that's helpful to anyone else who's been thinking that.